Get ready for your daily dose of WordPress and web development tips, tricks, and insights to help you find success with WordPress. You're listening to WP the Podcast with your hosts, David Blackman and Tim Streifler.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of WP the Podcast, brought to you by WP Gears. I'm Tim Streifler. My co-host David Blackman is not with us today. He will be with us very soon. For those of you who don't know, David is a digital nomad, travels around with his RV, and so due to scheduling conflicts of him traveling, we weren't able to get on the same page for this recording session in time, and so he'll be with us for the next recording session, the next wave of episodes. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about building a successful business always requires sacrifice. A lot of people, they want the success without the sacrifice, and it just really doesn't work that way. Different people, they hear about what I do and, getting to work from home and being able to buy a nice house and do this and do that. And it's like, well, yeah, I worked for it though. I sacrificed a lot to get here and have my businesses where they're at. It wasn't easy. It wasn't a walk in the park. It wasn't like I just worked from home and all of a sudden, the success rolls in. Business requires sacrifice, no matter what. And so the sacrifice might look different in different situations for different people in different times of their life or different types of businesses, but there's always a level of sacrifice that comes in. No one just gets handed to them all the success unless they inherit a business, and that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, so for example, some people will say you should, quit your job and then concentrate full time on your business, sink or swim type. And that's what I did. That's kind of what David did too. That's not always the right choice for everyone. But that level of sacrifice I was sacrificing an income, sacrificing, financial security, sacrificing a heck of a lot of time to work on the business without any money coming in. Where other times the right choice might be starting the business on the side. And you have a mortgage, you have a family, you have kids to feed. So you have to have that steady income coming in, and then you're building your business on the side. Okay, well, you're not necessarily sacrificing financial security and comfort, but then you're going to really be sacrificing free time, a social life. You're going to be sacrificing sleep and trying to build a business on the side. You're sacrificing your weekends, having the day off, getting to do different things, grabbing a beer with friends, but instead you have to come home and work on your business. And so no matter what it looks like, there's always going to be some sort of sacrifice in place. Sometimes it's a longer than other times. Sometimes people can build a business more quickly. Some people struggle for years. There's a story of the guy that created, I think it was Dyson vacuum cleaners. He failed over and over again. It's like you look at that company now. I know we have listeners all over the world. I'm not sure. I don't really know the history of the company. I don't know if they're global and they're in all countries, but they're pretty big here in America. And they make some of the best vacuum cleaners out there, and they're one of the biggest brands here in America for vacuum cleaners. But the owner failed over and over again. And so many people were telling him, like, you need to give up on this. You're not getting anywhere. You're not making money. You're losing money. You're wasting time. But he kept at it. He sacrificed a heck of a lot, probably sacrificed friendships over it, sacrificed time, money, stability. But finally, he was able to realize that dream and accomplish what he sought out to do. But it took a ton of sacrifice along the way. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that's useful for you to understand that starting a business does take sacrifice. It does take risk. And so that's why it's not meant for everyone. Not everyone is cut out to be a business owner, to be an entrepreneur, to run your own company and create your own destiny, as cheesy as that sounds. Not everyone's cut out for it. Not everyone fits that mold. And so you have to really want it, because you will be sacrificing a lot. And it's always going to be more than you realize. It's never going to look quite like what you realize along the way. But that sacrifice, that risk is worth it. And so there was something I saw recently. I don't want to get political in any way, but it was like talking about minimum wage and, why should the factory worker make less than the business owner? Because without that factory worker in there creating those things, the business owner has no business, which, yes, that's true. But the business owner is the one carrying all that risk, sacrificing to get that off the ground. the employee, the factory worker gets to go home. He has that steady paycheck regardless of whether or not the company is doing well and creating income. And yeah, that employee can lose their job and lose that income. But at the end of the day, they're not the one that's carrying all that risk and all that. So with higher risk, higher return. And so that's kind of the benefit of being a business owner. And so, I think that's all there is to say about this topic. Let us know in the comments what your thoughts are. You can leave comments at wpgears.com for the episode 606. Building a successful business always requires sacrifice. So we love that it took us like 2 years in of this podcast to turn on comments on the individual podcast post on our website, but we did, and we've been getting some comments, a couple here and there, and we definitely want to encourage more. So I know a lot of people listen in the podcast app, and so to comment, you have to go over to the episode. But let us know your thoughts. Let us know, if what you've had to sacrifice, or whether you realize that you would have to sacrifice that or not, and kind of what it's taught you along the way. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about the secret to unlimited web design clients. It's a secret. It doesn't mean it's easy. It's not necessarily something that is going to be a silver bullet by any means, but hopefully it'll be helpful for you to kind of learn, really, when you break it down, what it comes down to. So tune in tomorrow. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.
We've come to the end of today's episode of WP the Podcast. Join us tomorrow for more daily tips and strategies designed to help you run your WordPress business toward success. Remember to subscribe to WP the Podcast so you can stay up to date with each episode. And don't forget to rate and review us. We'll see you again tomorrow right here on WP the Podcast.